supposed peace deals that the alternate media keeps fucking pushing down my throat constantly, talking about how he deserves a Nobel Peace Prize before any ink is even dry on these peace deals. And then when these peace deals actually happen, something out, that the media keeps talking about these peace deals. First, we had the Israel, Gaza, Palestine one, which was a whole ordeal, a ridiculous ordeal, in fact, where they referred to the opposition party of Israel as the opposition party, which is total theater like video game stuff. But then, we were talking about how Trump needs to win a Nobel Peace Prize because of all of the peace deals he has. And then, like a week after the goddamn peace deal, quote unquote, the peace deal is broken. And then there's this peace deal that supposedly Ukraine agreed with. And I got to see every talking head in the media that loves Trump talking about another peace deal, another peace deal. But what they didn't tell you was Zelensky agreed to everything except giving up the Donbass region. I'm like, bro, that's basically all. That's like that's the main crux of what these deals are supposed to be, is you need to give up something. So if he doesn't agree with the most important aspect, who cares?
Well, that's what compromise is you have to give up something that you don't want. Everybody needs to be uncomfortable with it to be comfortable with the outcome. That is a true compromise. Everybody ends up being unhappy. Somebody gives up something that they want. So
it's just ridiculous to me that
isn't that like the sign of a successful deal is when both sides are unhappy about it?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And also a sign of a successful deal is actually having the deal go through. So I got to hear how Zelensky's finally agreed to something. It's almost like the right-wing media, I'll call them, because that's basically what they are, the new media, as they say. They just sensationalize news stories to make their side look good, and then it goes into the wayside, and then we just forget about it. And then when these things resurface, everyone will go, well, what happened? What happened? What happened? It's like, I don't know, because these people want to get clicks. And it's one of the reasons why I don't want to do news for 4 to 5 days a week anymore, is because these creators feel some sort of obligation to do 5 days a week, 2-hour show. There's really not enough news to talk about, and they're not intelligent enough, most of them, to just have normal conversations about happenings in the world or the human condition. So they need to sensationalize this news. They need to make this next group of riots seem like the worst thing ever so they can get some clicks or whatever. Their whole pay structure is on sensationalizing the news, just like the mainstream media. So I don't know how we're supposed to be different if it's all about sensationalizing shit and, trying to push to get Trump a Nobel Peace Prize when none of these peace deals even last. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah, what was it, like 3 or 4 days after the Israel-Gaza peace deal where they had the withdrawal yellow line stuff before reportedly IDF soldiers were dressing up as Hamas and shooting people inside of Gaza. And then the other side of that story is that they were shooting people who were basically agents of the IDF pretending to be Hamas. Like, it's just allegedly. All nonsense. Yeah, reportedly, allegedly, same thing. Both sides, though, are accusing of basically like double agents.
Yeah, and I'm sure there's that's a problem, and this is what like you and me say, is like this is an issue that is literally unsolvable, because that's what you're gonna get. You're gonna get people who on both sides don't want to actually have a peace deal, so they're gonna do whatever they can to subvert it, and then when that happens, it's done, it's broken. And then we just all forget about it. Like, how many people? What was the coverage of people who covered Donald Trump's successful peace deal versus the peace deal collapsing? Like, what is the coverage ratio? Because that's all they do is give coverage to the what ifs, and then when the actuals happen, they're nowhere to be fucking seen. And then these are also the same people that tell you can't criticize Trump at all. And it's like, they're just afraid to criticize him, just like the regime media is afraid to criticize any Democrat that's in office. So I ask you, as I went on many political rants, and I'm going to have a big 20-minute segment rant based off of when I was playing video games the other day. I just started ranting about politics. I ask you, what is the difference between voting for each party? What is the difference, really? The behaviors are all the same. They all act the same. Both sides' media will capitulate to the monolith in power, or they'll be afraid to push back to it. And then you talk about like the right's always using the threat of isms, Marxism, communism, and they're like, you can't vote for you got to vote for us because if you vote for the Democrat, then the communists win. And I'm just like, Ronald Reagan's presidency, George Bush's presidency, certain aspects of Donald Trump's presidency. It's like every big government overreach that gets passed is done by a Republican, and then the Democrats take advantage of it. So who's stopping the spread of Marxism? Nobody.
They're not. They keep putting it on purpose. They want Marxism. And this is the big thing. We keep talking about it. This is the illusion of freedom. They keep showing us, oh, no, you're free. You're free. No. It is some grand illusion. We are under an experiment. This is what it is. We are just walking, talking guinea pigs. And the sooner people wake up and actually start realizing that we are living in a gilded cage, and yes, it is a very, very pretty gilded cage, and our gilded cage could be a lot worse, but yes, we still live in a very gilded cage. Marxism spread rampant and nobody is the wiser, and it's driving me nuts. South Park had it right. Every single election will always be between a giant douche and a turd sandwich. Every election. It doesn't matter how big or how small. It is always between a giant douche and a turd sandwich.
And then they talk about the infighting. Oh, we can't have any infighting. We need to be unified. Unified in what exactly? What are we unified in? Being afraid to push back against a guy who said he was going to drain the swamp? Other than Make America Great Again, Drain the Swamp was the second slogan. Right? Am I tripping, or was it not the second slogan? I know it's been 10 fucking years. Thank you for the raid, Alistar. Hop in. We're talking news. Everyone's so excited. You know what I'm like? I'm like a basketball player that's really, really good at posting up, but I just want to be an isometric player. That's all I want to do. I just want to do ISO moves. I don't want to post up. I don't want to do post moves. I want to do step back 3-point shots. That's what I want to do. But like I have to realize what I'm effective at too. But no, fuck it. Fuck it. I'm gonna keep doing them step back 3-pointers. Fuck them post up moves. Maybe Sean's good with the post up moves. What do you think?
I mean, I'm like the guy who's pointing at the ref and saying the ref doesn't even know the rules. How can the ref actually uphold the rules?
Right.
Because the ref is cheating, you know? Because like if you look at Trump, he's clearly, you know, a 90s era Democrat, but he's being called far right by the left. The Hegelian dialectic tactic is masterful. You got to give them credit where it's due. Their ability to distort the truth and get you to side with something that you disagree with simply because you're afraid of the labels like you're talking about. Like, Trump is a soft socialist, effectively.
Yeah, he's a big big government right winger, basically.
Yeah,
which is a 90s Democrat.
Yeah, and I was just reading about this like last night or whatever, because people are talking about the term useless eaters and how it started in, you know, the 1920s and started getting built on in the 1930s. And I'm like, is that true? So I start looking into it, and in like 1840, Marx was talking about the parasite class and how they need to be removed, but he was talking about the capitalists. So you're just switching the target, but the principle is the same, that there's a piece of society that needs to be removed because they're in the way. And I'm over here like, bro, did you guys see? I don't have anybody in Florida that needs to call me. Stop calling me scammers. I can't even use my damn phone because I get more scam phone calls than anything. Why I need like a regional filter, and we need to stop letting people spoof phone numbers. Anyway, sorry, that just happened in real time.
I always get people in California calling me with Chinese accents. I'm like, oh, damn CCP. Yeah. Maybe they can buy some land and give it to me.
I get them from New York, and it's funny because every single one of them has a Durka accent, and I just start laughing at them.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and then if the one time when it does come from kind of a local area and you answer it all skeptically, there's that like 2.5 second pause where they actually unmute their mic. Come on, bro. Come on. You're not going to get me like that. But so on the tangent of like who do you align behind? Have you guys seen the recent clips going around from the whatever podcast of these girls that are all immigrants that swore they're technically they are citizens, but as a part of the naturalization process, you take an oath to release your allegiances to previous governments, and they're all saying, "Oh, like this one's like, oh, I would align with Colombia if we went to war with them instead of America." This one's like, "Oh, I would align behind Mexico if we went to war with them." We have a bunch of people who have lied on their oaths for naturalization, and ICE is not doing anything about that. Like, reverse their fucking paperwork. They lied under oath.
Deport.
Yep.
Well, from the reports that I heard this weekend, apparently Trump is actually going to start doing something about that, and he is going to go after, like, Congressman
those girls,
Ilham Omar, whatever her name is, the one who married her brother.
Ilham Omar.
Yeah, the Somali lady. Yeah, apparently he's going after her. He's going to go after all of them, and I'm like, good, bye, get out of here. My grandmother came over here, did the process, gave up her citizenship from her other country, and growing up here, she flat out, like, I don't know, I can't even count how many times that she would get so pissed off at people going, learn the language. I did. Go home if you don't want to learn the language. She goes, you don't need to be here. If you're not going to be a part of this country, you don't need to be here. And I, being born here, full-heartedly agree with that statement. It's like, she gave up her citizenship. She bled for this country. She actually did civil service. My grandmother, who came over from another country, served our country. That should tell you right there of what kind of a person she was and is. And the fact that these people are just like, oh, well, I want to stick up for my country. Well, go back home. Bye. Get out of here.
Bye-bye.
Quit using our resources. You are not wanted. If you want to be here and you are willing to bleed for this country and you're willing to die for this country, I will open my arms to you. I welcome you. Thank you for being here and wanting to make this your home. But if you're not going to make this your home, get the fuck out. Bye, Felicia.
You know,
Speaking of the parasite class,
one of the things that we decided on when we had our immigration discussion, Nora and I, was you need to drop allegiance to your previous country and have an actual love and identification with this country. And that doesn't mean you can't drop, like, doing, Day of the Dead for, like, in Mexico or something. But, like, you have to become an American. You need to become an American. You need to become an American, and you can't send money back to Ireland. You can't send money back to Germany. You can't support the Irish Independence Clause by giving half your paycheck to them. You need to become an American. That's it. Are you want to come here? You want to indulge in the riches and the glories of the land? Then become an American. I'm tired of people who I'm going to go to America so I can send money back to the Philippines. It's like, dude, no. Yeah. You come here to be American, bro.
Yeah, like, I understand the idea that you can only afford to move yourself over. You're going to work for a while, and then you're going to use that money to bring your mother, sister, brother, cousin, whatever. I get that. But if you're going to spend 40 years here and send all your paycheck minus rent and utilities back to India, India's entire economy is propped up on U.S. remissions. Mexico is very much the same. Africa is very much the same. Well, Central Africa, North Africa, and South Africa are doing decent for themselves. But everywhere from the northern South Africa border to the sub-Saharan, like the beginning of the sub-Saharan region, is all pretty much propped up by U.S. tax dollars, European tax dollars, And we, meanwhile, are collapsing as the Western world because we keep funding everybody else. This is what I've been talking about a lot lately. This is largely why your streets suck. Your tax dollars are supposed to fund this, but the money that's supposed to circulate through your city, because, Jeff owns a business and Bob works for Jeff, but Bob sends his money to Bulgaria, wherever country. I don't give a fuck. It doesn't matter to me what color your skin is. In that money is intended to flow through American systems, and it's supposed to touch 15 to 20 different businesses in your town before it ever hits, the government. Really.
It's like there needs to be some sort of plan. If you've been here for 10, 15 years and you haven't even moved like your wife or something and you just keep sending money back, then it's like, all right, brother, get out of here.
That's an issue.
Yeah, that's an issue.
Yeah.
Not only get out of here, just give us everything that you own and then get out of here type shit. But
because we basically bought their country. All the infrastructure in their country is only there because of our money. And if you're Ramaswamy and your fucking father's been here for 40 years and he still says, oh, my father thinks that it's better for him to not be a citizen, get the fuck out.
Yeah, that's insane.
Yeah,
but they'll build these big businesses and, extract wealth and raise up their countries. Like, when did America become the fucking... why do people have this idea that America is supposed to be like this open range Wild West for the rest of the world to come and just steal a piece of our pie? Like, come California Gold Rush, take our gold and go back elsewhere. When did we become the world's charity? No, we're the greatest country in the world because we take from the best, and the best want to be here, and then the best become American and say, well, I'm an American now. I'm not a fucking Mongolian. I'm an American. I'm not a Mongolian. I'm an American. That's it. I don't know why. I don't know what happened. That it's like all of a sudden people just want to. Oh, I have a love for my country. You have a love for your country. You have a love for your government that continues to enact policies that subjugate your people. You have a love for that, and you want to continue to.
See,
you want.
there's a difference. I separate it because I support my troops because they defend this country, and even if they get shitty orders, it's not their fault. They're following orders. I support our troops. I support the American people. Their struggles are real day in and day out. Do I support our fucking government? No, because they're lying, corrupt assholes, and they should actually be, ousted. A lot of them.
Yeah, but wait,
peacefully. And again, we would be in the same boat as Venezuela. Regime change isn't going to do shit because, again, you are trading one for another, and it is literally the same shitty idea coming out of a different fucking person expecting a different result, and that is literally the definition of insanity.
Well, here are our options. Here are these people's options. Either you come to America and you be American and you drop all that shit from the past, or, like Sean always says, you have your own 1776 moment. I don't know why we need to be charity for you. Either you become an American, or you have your own 1776 moment and decouple from all this bullshit.